Howdy, folks.
Howdy.
How are you? I'm Black Dragon. Here we are on Black Dragon Late Night. And why do I call it Black Dragon Late Night? Everybody else is on Sunday night early, so I decided to kind of slide back a little bit later to hang out with you guys and talk to you about stuff. Those of you who are up late Sunday night and ain't got to go to work, so we'll absolutely have a good time, have some fun, and talk about some things tonight. I'm Black Dragon. This is Black Dragon Biker TV. Normally we have this round table at night, but I don't have any guests. I have a couple that are supposed to be coming on. Big Bone's supposed to be coming on tonight. But I don't know if he's wrapped his show up yet or not. And maybe Archbishop will be coming on. Maybe not. If we see him, we do. If we don't, we don't. We're going to have fun regardless of what we do. But anyway, wanted to talk about a few things tonight. A few things that are going on. First thing I want to talk about is, so tonight is going to be kind of a club life. We don't talk about that so much anymore. We talk about a lot of news and stuff like that, and we talk about a lot of current events and stuff. And we get to the point where we don't talk about MC protocol and MC club life and stuff like I'd like to. So I want to spend some time talking about that tonight. And I want to kind of talk about the state of motorcycle clubs and where they're going. And we're seeing a lot of this stuff happen on the news lately. Clubs are having hell. They got a lot going on, man. And clubs are fighting a lot. And there's these open pitch battles on highways and stuff across the land. These open pitch battles. And it's really kind of interesting, concerning where things might be going. And there have been a couple of creators out there that have been just trying to figure out how we can make things happen a little differently as creators. How perhaps we can since so many people watch us, and man, if you look at all the channels, Big Bone, Danny D'Lo, Four for the Road, Hollywood, Insane Throttle. Now we got a new guy, Marcos, Motorcycle Nation, and new guys are coming in all the time. We reach a lot of people. A lot of people actually see us and want to be a part of this thing that we're doing. And a lot of people actually take to heart the things that we say. So if that's true, and we have them across all the spectrums, because when I first came on, you would never ever see a 1%er in a diamond club currently up and operating and running. You would never see those guys. You'd never see those guys doing one of these shows. You just wouldn't see it. And now you got all kinds of them doing this show. You got all kinds of them doing these shows. So you got every spectrum: riding clubs, motorcycle ministries, riding associations. You got the biker radio over there that Popeye and those guys do. You got everything covered. 99%ers, 1%ers, everything. And so maybe we can make some inroads. Maybe we can make some inroads on what we're doing, and maybe change the concept around of how people are behaving. So I'm going to play this thing that Hollywood did on his channel the other day. And it's let me see if we can't pull this up. Pull that up. Get that on screen for us. The one where with Hollywood, yeah. So we're going to see if we can play this for you. And this is what Hollywood did. It's called Knuckle Up. He's talking about another creator. And I'm just going to play this for you. And he called it Start Knuckling Up Already. And this is one creator's idea of how we can bring some sanity to this world. So many of us are resorting to guns as a first source, like the finality of it all. And really, in the old day, in the cowboy days, everybody had a gun on their side, right? But in all the movies we saw, one of the greatest things that you ever saw was the cowboys tear the saloon up, whooping each other's ass. Yeah. And we seem to have gotten away from being able to whoop somebody's ass and let that be that. We seem to have gotten away from that. And now we want to hurt each other, bro. We don't want to just whoop each other. Now we want to hurt each other, and doing that by killing one another. And that's crazy. So let's play this real quick, and I'll come back to you on the other side of it. It's just about 30, 40 seconds. Let's go.
It's already bad. It's like the center of how the cops do stuff down there, but now it's just going to get worse, and it's going to get worse not only just for clubs, but it's going to get worse for all motorcyclists in general, because that's what they do down there. And let's face the facts. You do get sick and tired of hearing this kind of stuff on the news. I kind of am going to lighten it up in a second, doing some fundraiser stuff. But it's like, wow, man, exactly right about clubs policing their own, meaning put them through that process, man. If they got any gang tendencies, any criminal tendencies, isn't it better to get them out now than to have to deal with a situation later down the road, which could put many of your brothers in harm's way as far as this kind of stuff, or a RICO? I just don't think it's worth it, because you got to ask yourself, if a brother is willing to do dirt openly, then he don't care about you as a brother. He don't care what heat he's going to bring on you. Hopefully a lot of people are seeing what's happening out there, because it has gotten terrible. It just has. So don't forget to go visit him over on, I think it's Twitter, and then the actual website is pretty cool, man. Go over there and support the cause. Here over at EerieNewsNow.com, firefighters.
Oh, what? Did I play the wrong damn thing? Oh, my goodness. That sucks. Okay. Here it is. Sorry. It looks like I played the wrong thing.
Every day I make around $10,000, and it's all online. It's actually not from real estate. If you're someone that's looking...
Okay.
And scraps.
Here we go. This is what I mean. This is what I mean to play right here. Sorry about that.
Top story this Memorial Day.
A tarnish for the scene, because let's just face it, what has been happening down in Texas and quite frankly all over the United States in the last couple years has really put a tarnish on MCs as a whole. But let's check a look at this video from No Shame.
At least
5 motorcyclists shot in separate locations.
Top story this Memorial Day, a shooting between rival motorcycle gangs.
At a shooting at Hatmaker's Bar.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Police in Northwest Houston say a group of bikers shot and killed a man on a motorcycle.
And if you guys are anything like me, I'm getting pretty tired of hearing about stories like this. As legend goes, there used to be a time in this world where people could pull over on the side of the road, have a little scrap, and share a beer at some point down the road, and that was the end of it. Now it seems like the more common scenario is people pulling out guns, shooting each other, and then that's fucking that, man. There's certain actions that you take that there's no coming back from. So what I'm trying to do is reintroduce a culture of people knuckling up instead of pulling out guns. The world ain't a perfect place, and you're gonna have problems with people every now and then. But when did men become so pussified that they were scared to take an ass whooping and had to shoot somebody and make sure he didn't go home to his family at the end of the day? Riding bikes with our brothers is supposed to be something that we do because we love it and because we enjoy the lifestyle. So why the fuck are we sitting here worrying about whether our brothers are gonna make it home at night? So if you guys have some time, I want you to go over and check out knuckleup.com. That's knuckle-up.com. This is a project that I'm starting that will hopefully promote exactly what I'm talking about. People putting down the guns, putting down the weapons, settling things like men, and making sure that all these little beefs and scraps aren't the end-all be-all scenario in somebody's life. We've got too many people behind bars or in the ground to keep doing this shit to each other. So I want to take a minimum 50% of the proceeds that I raise off anything that's sold on the site is going to go directly towards helping families that are affected by violence in the motorcycle club community. Then anything that doesn't go directly to that families, I want to put towards doing something. Like maybe we host a fucking smokers at local fucking MMA gyms or boxing gyms or whatnot. Fucking get people to put their fucking money where their mouth is. I want to start promoting people that are doing shit the right way. You know, we constantly talk about how we're not gangs, that we're clubs, and then we give the media every fucking reason to paint us in this fucking light.
They say rival biker gangs are behind a deadly shootout.
There's people out here in our community, and we're letting them in, and they're bringing with them this mentality of this fucking criminal gangbanger mindset. And we've gotten so far away from what motorcycling actually is, from what motorcycle clubs actually started as. We should be a community that takes care of each other because we're all out here doing the same fucking thing. So help me out, guys, because this is going to take more than me. It's going to take the entire community. Go check out the site. If you guys got questions or suggestions or whatever, please let me know. This is something that is near and dear to my heart, and I know I'm not the only one that's been thinking about it. So appreciate you guys, and look forward to hearing what y'all think about it.
Powerful stuff right there from No Shame. It is something that's really needed now.
So, yeah, that's... So, let's do this real quick since we're here. Let's go ahead and go to Knuckle Dash Up. Is that what it is? Knuckle Dash Up. Like, how the hell did he get that website? Like, Knuckle Up would just have to be taken, right? But no. So here it is. Knuckle Up. Knuckle-up.com, and so you can buy one of these pins. Here's the bronze level is $25. The gold level is $100. You can buy. Well, where's the silver level? There's some of us that are between 25 and 100, like somewhere at like 35, 36. Oh, here it is. Silver level right here. I talked too fast. All right, here's the silver level of Knuckle Up pin. So that's $50, somewhere between 25 and 100, right? And then there's the Knuckle Up trucker hat. Well, where's the Knuckle Up biker hat? But okay, Knuckle Up trucker hat right here, $20. And then there's the Knuckle Up stickers for your computer or whatever. There's a Make Fighting Cool Again shirt. Oh, I like that. So Make Fighting Cool Again, and then there's a black one, and Menace clothing, and so this is it, and let's go see it. Okay, so fisticuffs, only real men need apply. Oh wow, and it's got like a 19 16 dude, or maybe an 1875 dude, with his fist up in the old fighting style. This is how they used to do it, like that, like so. Yeah, that is really cool. And here's the black one, make fighting cool again, and it's got a guy's hand wrapped up and knuckle dash up over underneath it. Make fighting cool again. I like this. So you can get that T-shirt. I wonder if they have the big man sizes. Let's see if they. Oh, look at 3XL. Oh man, come on, man. I wear a 5XL. Stop it. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. We need some bigger sizes. This is horrible. But maybe they'll hear us and get. I need at least a 4X, bro. Stop playing. But until then, I guess I'll have to get a pin. Then they have these for the big boys. Oh, here we go. My size. Okay. 4XL and 5XL. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, but I want it in a black shirt though. I want it in a black. I don't want the white shirt one. I want it in a black shirt. But anyway, here you go, guys. Go over here. There's the trucker hat. Make sure to. So I suppose if you wear this, you're showing the world. It says knuckle up, guns down. Oh, I like that. And the guns down is upside down. Oh man, he put a little thought into this right here. That's pretty smooth, man. And he said that he wanted to take at least half of the proceeds and donate it to victims of gun violence. So we want to help in that. So that's one of the reasons that I'm pushing this forward for you guys, for him. So that is one piece of what we could do in the biker community to help take away this, maybe turn the tide on some of this. And I think you had a good point. Like, there's going to be problems, club to club to club. There's going to be problems. There's going to be people that you have, you're on one with, and, you're going to want to box a guy in the nose. But that's so different than killing them. And that's so different than giving all of this fodder to the media for them to be able to use all that stuff against us, man. So I've seen a few creators. I see a few creators that have backed this guy up. Some guys on TikTok have taken up this mantra for no shame over there with 4 for the road. And I have notoriously not gotten along with no shame. I have notoriously not gotten along with no shame. So if I can put that behind me and say, hey, this is a good thing, then I think that a lot of you guys could do that too. You know what I mean? And push a more exciting agenda for us all. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about tonight. And I think that segues into a lot of stuff that we see going on in the motorcycle club itself lately. We see this going on with the motorcycle club itself. And that is so much of what we do. I'm a new fan to this thing that's been around for like maybe 12 years or something, Game of Thrones. I'm a new person to Game of Thrones. I'm just now finding out about it because I was, been watching Walking Dead for the last 12 years. And so, how many of these shows can you invest in? You got to get some work done. So I'm new to the Game of Thrones, and I'm watching the Game of Thrones. And when I watch Game of Thrones, I'm looking at the motorcycle club. It's like a Game of Thrones movie. And what I see from you guys is the willingness to do some of the craziest shit to one another. You hate each other. You absolutely hate each other. And you act like it. The things you do to one another are just horrible. Just like in a Game of Thrones show. You guys are willing to cut each other's throats, my man, over the smallest kinds of things. It is just, it's sickening. It is repulsive. And I hate so much that the motorcycle club world has come to that. First of all, you guys are so jealous of each other. Nobody can have any shine but you. If somebody has some shine or some person has some shine, here come you shine killers to knock the shine off of them. This beautiful prospect doing the best job they can, working as hard as they can, and you don't like them. And you ain't never going to give them the vote. You're never going to give them the vote because you don't like them. Prospects are not for you to like, idiot. Prospects are to benefit the club. Prospects are for the future of the club. When I was in the Navy, I did not like everybody sitting next to me. We're sitting on the fire control stacks. We are controlling, we're shooting the nuclear weapons or the torpedoes or the missiles out. I don't have to like that son of a bitch. But we're on the same team. He's got to be efficient. He's got to be capable. He's got to be competent. My job is to train him and get him up to speed. That's your job to do with a prospect. You're not going to like every brother in your club, and you're certainly not going to like everybody you bring in. And some people are going to be able to fool you long enough for you to like them, and then once they get in, they're going to change. And you're going to be, why did I ever even like that? It's not personal. Prospects are for the betterment of the MC. Not particularly for you to like. If they've met the criteria, pass their ass on up the line. Quit playing. Oh my goodness, we have a guest. Looks like we have Archbishop, Archbishop 1%er. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's good to see you. Hold on. Let me see if I can't get us both on. Hold on. Get rid of Hollywood's ass here. Boom. Hey, what's up, man?
We just got off from doing our show. Appreciate you coming over there, talking for a little bit. Always good to see you over there.
It was good to be over there. So we're talking about a few things over here tonight. And one of the things we're talking about is we're talking about this new thing that this guy's doing called Knuckle Up. Have you heard about it?
Knuckle Up? No.
Yeah. So what he's tired of is he's tired of everybody shooting at one another. And he wants to bring fighting back. Make fighting a thing that we do. So I'm going to play this for you. We played this a minute ago, but I'm going to play it for you now that you're here. And this is a really, I kind of like it. Hold on, let me pull that source back on. You guys, let's see where my folks are. Bring that source back on, will you? All right, here it goes.
In Hatmaker's Bar.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Police in Northwest Houston say a group of bikers shot and killed a man on a motorcycle.
And if you guys are anything like me, I'm getting pretty tired of hearing about stories like this. As legend goes, there used to be a time in this world where people could pull over on the side of the road, have a little scrap, and share a beer at some point down the road, and that was the end of it. Now it seems like the more common scenario is people pulling out guns, shooting each other, and then that's fucking that, man. There's certain actions that you take that there's no coming back from. So what I'm trying to do is reintroduce a culture of people knuckling up instead of pulling out guns. The world ain't a perfect place, and you're going to have problems with people every now and then. But when did men become so pussified that they were scared to take an ass whooping and had to shoot somebody and make sure he didn't go home to his family at the end of the day? Riding bikes with our brothers is supposed to be something that we do because we love it and because we enjoy the lifestyle. So why the fuck are we sitting here worrying about whether our brothers are going to make it home at night? So if you guys have some time, I want you to go over and check out knuckleup.com. That's knuckle-up.com. This is a project that I'm starting that will hopefully promote exactly what I'm talking about. People putting down the guns, putting down the weapons, settling things like men, and making sure that all these little beefs and scraps aren't the end-all be-all scenario in somebody's life. We've got too many people behind bars or in the ground to keep doing this shit to each other. So I want to take a minimum 50% of the proceeds that I raise off anything that's sold on the site is going to go directly towards helping families that are affected by violence in the motorcycle club community. Then anything that doesn't go directly to that families, I want to put towards doing something. Like maybe we host a fucking smokers at local fucking MMA gyms or boxing gyms or whatnot. Fucking get people to put their fucking money where their mouth is. I want to start promoting people that are doing shit the right way. You know, we constantly talk about how we're not gangs or we're clubs, and then we give the media every fucking reason to paint us in this fucking light.
They say rival biker gangs are behind a deadly shootout.
There's people out here in our community, and we're letting them in, and they're bringing with them this mentality of this fucking criminal gangbanger mindset. And we've gotten so far away from what motorcycling actually is, from what motorcycle clubs actually started as. We should be a community that takes care of each other because we're all out here doing the same fucking thing. So help me out, guys, because this is going to take more than me. It's going to take the entire community. Go check out the site. If you guys got questions or suggestions or whatever, please let me know. This is something that is near and dear to my heart, and I know I'm not the only one that's been thinking about it. So appreciate you guys, and look forward to hearing what y'all think about it.
So yeah, I thought personally that was a pretty cool thing he's doing, and wanted to give my 2 cents on it. What do you think about it?
You know, I think that's something that should have been put out a long time ago. You think throughout the, back in our time when we were younger, running around, that's how you handle things. I mean, if you had a disagreement, then we went out and we slugged it out. When we were done, we went back, we had a beer, kicked back, and it was done. Nowadays people don't know what it is to take a good ass whooping. They want to shoot. I don't want to lose my life on a disagreement, but I ain't gonna, But then on the other hand, though, I don't mind taking one if I have to, but it never should be that way. You know what I mean? There should always be a diplomatic reason to handle all situations. That should be the last resort. If you felt that you was in danger to the point that was the only way that you were going to make it out, that's something different that we can talk about. But like you see on the news right now, you got guys coming out here shooting kids. They had that one little boy that they got shot simply because he knocked on the wrong door, and they didn't even press charges on the man. You had another guy just a couple of days ago that shot a 6-year-old kid because their ball went into his yard. It's getting ridiculous. And there has to come a time that either we as a people are gonna stand up and say enough is enough, or we're gonna sit here and watch this country become Babylon. Yeah. Right now it's like the choice is yours. Everybody has the power to choose. Everybody has their own right to choose their fate. We're living now to make it right for our children. So, if we're in a situation that we can change it, that's going to be better for our children and then our children's children, it is our responsibility to nip this in the bud. This stuff has to stop. You know, they talk about, you know, putting all these gun restrictions and all that stuff. I think a lot of that stuff is unnecessary. The gun restriction, you know, I mean, everybody had guns from the time that they made the first one. Everybody had guns. It's just that you got people nowadays that their mindset is so off focused that they feel that this is, you know, you walking up into schools shooting children. You know what I mean? And this is what a lot of this stuff is about. Walking in grocery stores, shooting old people. Like what is society? You know what I mean? This ain't just, you know, the country as a whole. This is like certain people in between that has whatever problems that they have, you know, going on in their lives, and they feel that, you know, I'm gonna kill myself, but I'm gonna take something with you. Why? You know what I mean? If you're gonna kill yourself, then kill yourself, but don't come after my kid. My kid ain't bothered you.
Right.
You know. But the fight thing, you know, I'll be all for it. You know, I think what's the problem in going to somebody and asking for 5 minutes? You know what I mean? We don't gotta sit here and fight forever. Give me 5 minutes. Man, you gonna go over here, we're gonna handle this for 5 minutes, and after then, we're done with it. You know what I mean? If you take it personal, then so be it. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get this out right now and we're gonna move forward.
Yeah. That would be neat. Bone, you missed it. There's a guy, another creator called No Shame. He came up with a No Shame from the Four for the Road podcast.
Okay.
And he came up with a thing called Knuckle Up. And
Okay.
His whole idea with Knuckle Up is to create a culture of us getting back to fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Whooping a mofo's behind rather than killing him.
Man.
And so he brought that up, and a few creators have. So I wanted to kind of get you know, pick your mind on it.
I'll tell you, I've had a lot of time to think about this subject. I've been reprimanded for this subject years ago, because, which I know you know this, but in the Marine Corps, we have what they used to call Potter's Field, which for civilians out there, Potter's Field is not a real, it's an imaginary place. It could be behind the chow hall. It could be next to the parade deck. It could be inside the barracks in that room that nobody lives in. It's an imaginary place, Potter's Field. So what that was, it didn't matter whether you was talking about a private and a damn lieutenant colonel, a general and a freaking first sergeant, whatever. If they were two Marines and they had an issue that they just couldn't settle, and they felt like, hey, you know, all this talking ain't gonna get it. Let's get it in.
Right.
The rule was, I'm gonna take off everything that has a Marine Corps rank insignia or any of that. It's a cover. You had a cami blouse and you had your chevrons here, whatever it was. You took that stuff off, because now there's no rank. It's just this Marine and that Marine. It's not Lieutenant Colonel so and so against Staff Sergeant so and so. Just two Marines who got an issue, and you're gonna go, and they're gonna tell you, you got 5 minutes, like Archbishop was just saying. You got 5 minutes, and someone, NCO or officer, whomever, they was gonna say, you got 5 minutes, you got 3 minutes, you got 10 minutes, you got 8 minutes, you got 30 seconds. Whatever it was, whatever they said, that's what it was, and it always varied. Once you get it in, now if I beat his ass, whatever the hell we was arguing about, I don't give a fuck what it was. Whatever we was arguing about, if I beat his ass, I'm right, and he's gonna apologize and admit he was wrong. Don't matter whether he believed it or not. If I beat his ass, I was right. If he beats my ass, damn it, sir, you were right, sir. I don't know what came over me. Then we're gonna leave there. We're gonna go to the beer garden. That's a place where, you know, motherfuckers could drink alcohol and beer no matter what age you was. If you was in, you know, on base, you could drink whatever age. Anyway, we're gonna go to the beer garden. The winner of that fight bought the loser of that fight. He paid for his drinks. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna chop it up about stuff other than whatever the hell you was arguing about, and that shit was done. It was over. Nobody was dead.
Right.
Maybe you had to go to BAS, Battalion Aid Station. Maybe you had to go get some stitches. Maybe you didn't. But nobody was dead.
Right.
You know, maybe your feelings was hurt, maybe. But that was it. But the thing is that, you know, you got all these pussyfied motherfuckers nowadays. And I'm not, and look, I'm all for the Second Amendment. You know, under the correct circumstance. I was in VFI, which Dragon, I know you know this, and actually you too, you as well, Bishop. But I was with Virginia Fugitive Investigations for a lot of years, and in all those years, I mean, I retrieved my weapon very. I mean, it was very rare that I actually pulled my weapon, and when I did, 50% of the times that I actually pulled my weapon for anything, there was a firefight involved, you know, a shootout involved. But 9 times out of 10, it was a conversation to get the job done. But these motherfuckers nowadays, everything's about, let me pull, because everybody's scared to take an ass whooping. Don't know if they can give one. You know, it's a bunch of bitch made motherfuckers out there who just feel like, you know what I'm saying, the truth. You know what I'm saying. It's a bunch of bitch made motherfuckers out there who's just scared to death of somebody, you know, messing up their Jerry curl or scratching up their damn Jordans or whatever the fuck it is. You know, a bunch of pussyfied motherfuckers, man. Like, men need to get back to being men.
Well, we
You know what I
can't.
mean?
There's too many attacks on manhood. There's the Hollywood thing is there's everywhere you look, every show you have on, there men are taking less of a role in the movies and stuff. Everything is something alternative.
Yeah, I don't buy into that shit. Let me tell you, and look, and I'm glad you said that, because every damn show, it seems like every time there's a new show, because I love TV, right? And it seems like, and this is part of indoctrination, if you name your 10 favorite TV shows, most people in those 10 favorite TV shows, 8 of them is going to have some gay byline of gay black men. No kidding. Watch what I tell you. Like, I used to like Empire, a bunch of gay guys. Freaking what's the other show? There's Empire. There's any Tyler Perry movie is always going to have some gay guys in it. But then you got that. Then there's they got whole full blown show Queer Eye, which that's not like one of my favorite shows, but I could go on and on and on. What was that show? Power, Power Book 2, Book 3, and now they got a bunch of gay guys in it. You name any freaking show, TV show where people like, they got to have some gay black man subtext or sub narrative about it. And then the other thing, little side one, if you're paying attention, the thing you also see now, you see these you see black women constantly married off to white guys. And I'm saying, as far as in as far as movies and stuff, there's nothing wrong. I don't have an issue with interracial marriage or any of that kind of stuff. But what happens is, you see the folks that are pushing that stuff are companies owned by Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch is the guy that owns Fox. He is a classic racist, as is, if you follow Fox News, and you already know what they're about. But the thing is that the ideology is this: if you take some black women, put some white babies in them, then those women, because typically most women subscribe to the political ideologies of their mate. So if you got a bunch of white guys who get them with these black women, well, now you got a bunch of black kids who now vote and think against their own best interest. You know, because of ultra conservative shit. And I just lost a whole bunch of people by explaining that shit, because a bunch of folks don't know what I'm talking about. But my thing is, it's not about anti-black and white. No, folks need to get together, black, white, brown, plaid, whatever the fuck. But what we need to do is we need to make decisions based on our own best interests, as opposed to letting the media condition us to think a certain way. And that's what's happening right now. We're conditioning people to think a certain way. I'll give you a real quick one. So here's a conservative ideology that I actually subscribe to. And people think, oh my gosh, I can't believe, just because the other side, this side or that side, comes up with a thing does not mean that you automatically have to oppose it, because common sense has to kick in there somewhere. And what I'm talking about is like this. So Florida has a law now that says that if you're born biologically a male, you can't join the female wrestling team, right? I actually agree with that. If you're biologically a male, you can't fight in female MMA just because you changed your name and bought a dress, right? So the federal government, the federal House of Representatives just passed, or it probably won't go past the Senate, but they just passed a bill saying the same exact thing. And people are losing their mind because they think, oh my gosh, if they can get away with this, they can get away with everything. How about folks going back to having common sense? If you got a man who sucked in the NBA, but now he joins the WNBA and he's the highest scoring player in the history of the WNBA, but he sucked when he was a man, maybe he has an unfair advantage. If you got a dude who is in the MMA getting his ass beat on the regular, but now he joins the female MMA and he's beating up on women, he literally cracked a woman's skull open.
Did that happen?
Yes, sir. I didn't make that up. That's real shit.
Yeah.
So
no, I thought I had read that, but I read something
really
that said her skull didn't get cracked, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, her skull got cracked. But the thing is that that was a dude. I don't give a damn because he changed his name to Beverly and he wears spandex now. Does not mean that he's a woman. That means that he's a dude who decided he got sick of taking the L's when he was a man. And even if he thinks he's a woman, so what? That's not fair for that dude who has different muscle mass, different his physiological makeup is different than a woman's. So it's not fair. It's not the same. That's why there's women's teams this and men's teams that. It's not the same because men or women, no matter who the hell wants to say it. And this is where Democrats and liberals are fucking up because they to some degree, not everyone, but they've lost a sense of realism. You know, we've lost realism. And conservatives, they go way far to the right with their bullshit, you know, because that whole racist ideology and all this other kind of stuff. Like I'm working on a thing right now. I've been to Tallahassee, going to the state government a lot, talking to state senators and state congressmen and all these other people. And we're working on this thing to get some funding for motorcycle safety and awareness. Everything was moving in the correct direction until this one redneck motherfucker decided that the one senator said, hey, we should have a board to say what happens with this money. And this one senator wants to make sure that this old white man, nobody rides a motorcycle, just a bunch of old white men. And I'm like, no, we need some bikers. We need to have a diverse group of folks, not just white folks, but we need to have a diverse group of people, but especially bikers, because it's bikers should be making decisions about what happens to this money. The big problem with me is, oh my God, I forgot. Oh shit, I'm black. Then we can't do that because I'm black and I'm not a right-wing Republican. And on top of that, I'm a damn member of an MC. Shit, no, we can't have none of that. So I'll tell you more about that dude later. Rich Newsom is his name. Damn, did I say that out loud? But yeah, so this cat has a big problem with everything that I represent because he wants to turn any motorcycle organization in the state of Florida into some right-wing arm of the Republican Party for the state. What the fuck does that have to do with riding motorcycles? Nothing. But I digress.
Wow. Yeah. We need to get the show back. So
yeah, I'm sorry. Apologies.
No, but always love hearing what you got to say. So that's cool.
Oh, and to all the folks that was hollering at me, I seen a bunch of Aztec and some of y'all other folks, man. It's good to see y'all too. I didn't get a chance to holler at them.
So, getting back to the what he was talking about with this knuckle up thing. This is his website, and I'm glad that you like that though. And that's something that I think we can all get behind. He's got these levels of membership here, and I'm hoping that this is really cool because when you look at it, it says knuckle up, guns down, that sort of thing. Yeah. I'm hoping that what that means is that the guys wearing that are not going to be afraid. You know, I hope it means that the guys wearing that are going to be folks that support that and are pushing that. You know what I'm saying? there'll be more than just a pin to say. But if you got that pin on and you got a brother that's trying to do some dumb shit, that pin reminds you of kind of like a flag or a patch or something. That pin reminds you of where you stand on that, and you grab them up and say, "Hey, man, we can fight this out. We don't have to do this."
Right.
And I'm hoping that's the kind of effect that it'll have. I want to move to my next thing I was talking about, and that is, as I was telling you guys earlier about this whole Game of Thrones thing that I've been watching.
Yeah.
And how motorcycle club folks are treating each other. If you can't treat your brothers right inside the club, how the hell can you have outside club experiences where you treat people right, or can you even deal with people?
Right.
And I was talking about an idea of mine where people often negatively go after and attack prospects. Like for some reason, I remember, this one guy who didn't like a prospect, and that prospect was never going to get his vote because he didn't like that prospect.
Right.
And that always got on my nerves, because prospects are not necessarily for you to like. Prospects, in my opinion, now this is me coming from the 99 side, prospects are the future of the MC. Not particularly, you're not going to like every brother you have. If there's a prospect doing the right damn things, just because you don't like them, you hold them up. I think you're supposed to make sure that the prospect is trained, just like in the military. The guy next to me, I didn't particularly like that guy, but I made sure that he could hold his own, because he was responsible for my life. I'm responsible for his life.
Right.
So to me, it's not personal. Get over it. Stop all this dumb shit we're doing to each other inside of our clubs. And I see a lot of it happening with the prospects. So I thought I would give you guys an opportunity to put in on that. Bishop, what do you think about that? Am I just completely off my rocker here?
No, actually, you're not. I mean, we've seen it all the time. You're absolutely right. When you bring a probie in, you're supposed to have the best intentions for that probie when you bring him in. That's the whole point of you bring him in the first place, to make sure that he's properly trained, that he'd be able to know not only the history, but the culture and what your club actually represents. But then too, you have people that's in their feelings that, they try to be probie killers, and they, you try to haze a probie, basically treat him like shit. And, but you got to remember, number one, he's a man. He's a man first. Number two, what I told all probies is that if you got a bro that's going to sit there and he's going to haze you, he's going to basically treat you like shit or whatever, go ahead and do what he asks you to do. And then when you finish doing what he wants you to do, then you go to him and have him to teach you something. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to set it apart, because you got two different type of people that's in these clubs. You got people that actually been in these clubs, that actually went out and done the work, done sacrificed, done lost, done gained, and everything else in between in order to make that club what it is. And then you have people that sit in the background and they tell stories and they make martyrs out of people that was actually in here doing this work.
Right.
The ones who tell the stories are the ones who's usually the ones that's probie killing. Okay, because they done sat in the corner and let years go by and did nothing. And then now you feel that because you got a couple years in, that you better than this man here that's just now coming in. You ain't trying to teach him nothing. You just trying to prove a point. You just trying to prove that you dominant at that particular time. Right. You know what I mean? That's just like a man trying to beat a puppy with his tail between his legs. You already know he's scared anyway, so why would you do it? Right. So you got people that got different mind frames. If I bring a probie in here, I'm going to teach him what he needs to know, because one day I expect that probie to become a bro. And that bro, I expect him to not only come in here knowing what he's supposed to do, to be responsible for what he's signed up for, and to actually come in and do the right thing, actually bring what he can contribute to this club. because that's what everybody does. Everybody comes in and they have their own contribution that they can give to these clubs.
Right.
And, you know, when you have people like that, it's just you trying to disrupt the process by not letting people in, or, you know, you got a personal issue because, you know, y'all may work at the same place and he don't like you, or for any god awful reason. I mean, 'cause I don't heard different excuses from, you know, across the board as to, and you just look at them and go like, for real, man? You know what I mean? Seriously? That's what we're gonna go with right now. You know what I mean? Oh, well, he didn't speak to me the right way. Okay, and did you speak to him? You know what I mean? It's like this ain't no hierarchy to where I'm better than you. You know what I mean? I'm better than you, so I'm gonna belittle you because you only been here for a month, or you a probie or whatever. My job is to teach you. My job as a lifer is to teach you what this is about, what this lifestyle is about, what it is that we actually sat here and fought for. My job is to teach you that. And that's it. And if you can't, you know, now if you can't personally deal with that and you go on about your business, that's one thing. But it's not going to be because I'm driving you away from, you know, hazing and lack of understanding.
Right.
You know, I was going to tell you, man, and I love the fact that you broke it down like that, because my way of thinking has always been, as it relates to these new cats, is one, and I've said this a 1,000 times. I'm like, you got to, as a patch member, I'm saying whether you've been in the club 20 minutes or 20 years, you have got to love your club. When I say your patch, you know, some of us would say the old man, or they'd say Charlie, or they'd say, you know, whoever we're talking about. You got to love your club more than you hating on somebody else. And if you catch yourself hating on somebody else for some reason that does not have anything to do with the betterment of your club, you need to check yourself. You have to check yourself, because at that point that you realize that your personal is outweighing the benefit of the club, that jewelry that I wear says that I'm fucked up and I have to make a correction, because it's about the club, not the individual. Now, the flip side of the coin is that if I'm a probie, or if I see someone interacting with a probie, and he's dogging that probie out, he's dragging him, and he's like Archbishop say, he's hazing him to death and all like that kind of stuff. And once all that hazing is done, there's no offer of information or education. Well, that's a problem for me. That's a big problem for me, because sometimes that whole hazing, or I'm going to drag you for a minute, is really just like in the military. It's to get your attention, because sometimes folks got to be broke out of, you know, whatever they think they know. So you get their attention. Now that you got their attention, educate. So when I'm seeing some dude dragging somebody and they don't start with, I did this, I did that, and here's what I think, and here's why I think this stuff. You can me all over the place if you're giving me actual shit that you did and told me, here's how I did it, here's why I did it, and here's how I ended up on the other side of it. Now that's a story I want to listen to all day long. But if all of your stories are based on somebody else's shit, and like Archbishop said, you just been cruising for the past X number of years and ain't done shit, you gonna have me jump through 10 windows and you ain't jumped through one? No, that ain't the way it go. That's not how it go, Playboy. If you are gonna have me do a thing as a probie, you either done that thing, know how to do that thing, or willing to do that thing with me. If I say, I don't know how to do that, big bro, could you show me? Absolutely, probie. Do it like this. Okay, now, hey, I can fuck with you. I can fuck with you all day long, because you didn't tell me nothing else. You didn't tell me to do something that you have no experience or understanding about. The other thing is like this, as it relates to knuckle ups, guns down, I dig the idea of that. And the thing is, though, is that we do have in these different clubs, you got cats that's been in these clubs 20, 30 years, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, a long time. So this 22-year-old, Thundercat or whatever, he's gonna come in, he's all hyped up, don't know shit. And he might want to think, well, because I'm young and strong, it might be stupid as fuck. I'm young and strong. I want to challenge that lifer over there, I want to get in his ass. I don't like what he said. Well, there's a thing called a chadich for those nerds out there. A chadich is like, man, you ain't gonna touch my lifer, but I'll be a huckleberry. I'm gonna stand in for my lifer, and I'm gonna whoop your ass because my lifer said, here's what's up. That shows it shows respect to the lifer, and B, it teaches that young buck that, hey, this man is respected so much to the point where I'm gonna give you the ass whooping that he would have gave you 15 years ago had he been a younger man. That's called a chadich. That's some nerd shit. But my point is though, yeah, I'm still with it, but based on the circumstances. You know, for those of us that's young enough to knuckle it up and handle that, do that. But if you're gonna try to call out a 78-year-old man,
right?
Nah, I ain't with that. I'm not with that at all. Get it, me though. I'll be your huckleberry. Ain't that what Doc Holliday said? I'm your huckleberry.
I'm your huckleberry. I ain't got no problems with you, Lunger.
Right. Like Johnny Ringo.
yeah.
Look like someone just walked over your grave.
Johnny Ringo.
Ain't got no problem, Doc. I beg to differ, sir.
Okay, Lunger. Yep.
So the next thing I wanted to bring up is I see this stuff going on where these guys are so willing in the clubs nowadays to do the most egregious things to one another. Like they just everybody. It's like you got to write the guy up. You got to put the guy out. Everybody's getting put out bad. To run the worst things. Nobody seems willing to talk to anybody at a church meeting anymore. Everything is now all sidebars and a bunch of people on the phone talking shit about somebody. And by the time he finds out about it, the whole club has been told about this misdeed he's done, and he hadn't had an opportunity to say or even protect himself. And folks are coming to him to put him out quicker than folks are coming to him to ask, is this even true or not? So
right.
Part of what's going on in these clubs is the inability to look your brother face to face. And you guys had a question about it a little bit earlier on your channel, where the guy said, how do I tell my brothers I now want to step up and go be a 1%er?
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell them.
I love Archbishop's answer though. The way AB, you said this thing, you said, well, you speak the fuck up and tell. Well, I'm paraphrasing, but basically you said you speak the fuck up, nut up, be a man, and say it. Tell them what's up. And if you can't do that, how the fuck you gonna go anywhere?
But there seems an inability for people to address each other at the table, and because of it, our brotherhoods have become so watered down with bitch-made mofos.
Yep.
If you can.
I was cussing earlier. I'm sorry. I just realized that it's because Archbishop told me to cuss a lot.
That's what I was laughing about when you were doing it. That's why.
So I forgot where it was.
So my thing is, what do you think can be done about that? What would you teach differently? How can we get these people back at? If you can look at a guy in the eyes at the table, you don't have to go talk about him behind his back. You don't have to write him up and put him out bad and on and on. So, what do you think about that, Archbishop? I'll go with you first.
Oh, let me throw real quick.
I guess I'll go with Big Bone first.
This thing, no, I just want to say to Cal, in case this thing scrolls, Cal said out bad doesn't mean what it used to. Depends on we got to say geography, Cal. It depends on who you're talking about and where you're talking about. Because out bad, some places, out bad means you're done. And like, I know where I am, if somebody's out bad, ain't nobody fucking, damn, here I go again. If somebody's out bad, it don't matter whether you're looking at a black club, the white set, the black set, the plaid set, it don't matter. If you out bad, at the least, you're gonna be out bad for a while. A year, 2, 3, 5, something like that, until people start dying off and moving that don't remember what it was as to why you was out bad, then maybe you might consider coming back. But that's where I am. In other places, and forgive me for having to answer that question because this thing is scrolling, so I wanted to get it. But other places, out bad means he's out bad until somebody feels like, I guess he was okay, and then just comes back with no formal anything. You just bring him back. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not what the set says. That's not the way this thing is supposed to work. So if y'all are out there letting somebody who's out bad, I don't give a damn what club they came from. If they out bad, they out bad. That's supposed to carry weight, even amongst the ops, folks that you don't care about. If they out bad from them, why the hell does that make them good for you? But anyway, let me shut up, and I just had to get that out. Sorry.
What was your question, Drag?
If you don't remember the question is, what do you think? Oh, Sheldon, I don't remember the question. The question is, what do you think will bring brothers back to the table properly, where they can, get at each other at church rather than all this backstabbing BS that we see?
I think that what's going to bring it back is that, it kind of goes along with the first thing that you was talking about the knuckle up. There has to come a point in time that enough is enough. And whether they're your brother, and as much as you know what I mean? Now, one thing I'm gonna say, I don't never condone fighting your brother, because we should all be here for the same reasons. But there comes a time that somebody done took you to the point that you're gonna just have to, just to make a long story short, we're gonna have to see whose ass the blackest. Okay? And we're gonna have to step outside, double yellow, we're gonna have to handle this shit. And then after we handle it, then we're gonna move on. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna take it that way. You know what I mean? You done went through, and a lot of times, from what I've noticed, and this just, I'm speaking more along from what I've seen and for personal. A lot of times, the people that's running around that's talking so much crap about you have never actually held a conversation with you. Don't know nothing about you.
Or ridden
if you ask them to say, okay, the person that you talk about, where does he live? Who's he live with? Do you know anything about him other than what you're telling me right now? Or, okay, so if you saying, one of the biggest things they do, they're like, oh, you better watch such and such. You better watch him. What am I watching? Tell me what I'm watching. Half the time they can't even tell you, because they're going to tell you something that somebody else told. You know what I mean? And one thing that always goes on is that a lie will carry on longer than the truth ever would. Because 9 times out of 10, the truth really ain't that damn interesting. But they would keep that lie going, and they would add something to it, add something to it, add something to it. And then they sit back and they cower and they watch what goes on in between. So if you, the person that they're talking about, then you sitting here spending most of your time defending yourself on something that you didn't even do. But they sit in the background like a bunch of little, fucking rats, actually. You know what I mean? Just call it what it is. They rats.
Right.
They sit in the back and they just constantly make up something. They gotta constantly keep drama. Now, when I grew up, my thing was, it's one or two things we're gonna do. We're either gonna talk about it like men, or I'm gonna put blood in your mouth. Pick out which one you want, and that's which one we're gonna do. But we ain't gonna keep doing all this talking. And you're gonna learn after this is over with, and I gotta go in your mouth, what's gonna happen? You're gonna stop putting my name in it. But nowadays you have people put in the bylaws and rules and stuff like that you ain't allowed to put your hand on a bro, you ain't allowed to fight a bro, you ain't allowed to do this, which gives your cowards an opportunity to run around and say and do whatever they want to do, because they hide behind those rags. The same reason probably how they got there in the first place. They went there for protection, because they was some bitches out here on the street. Like I said on our show, there was some bitches out here on the street. They come in here, they throw rags on, then guess what? Now they all of a sudden they Superman. But Monday through Friday, he's still bitch ass Joe from down the street. Still the same that y'all been messing with since he was a teenager. You know what I mean? He's still that dude. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. But
bitch ass Joe from down the street.
It is. But then, we ought to make a hashtag for that. It should be hashtag bitch assless. That's what it is. bitch
Oh, there
ass.
used to be.
Bullshit.
There used to be
That's
a
what it
T-shirt.
is.
It used
That's
to be a
what it is.
T-shirt. Bitch assness.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch
Now,
assness.
you know, another reason why you got so much turmoil going on inside these chapters is because there's nothing going on outside the chapters. You know, now we had a show back a while ago when we was talking about the difference between bros in peacetime as and bros according to wartime. You know what I mean? On our end, you had a different caliber of people. They had a different mind frame. You know what I mean? Most people who join these clubs that come from the military have a set mind frame. They have a, you know, so this is like you always focus, no matter whether you've been in the military for 4 years or 20 years, you still got that same mindset. When you start bringing in people into these clubs that has never experienced true actual brotherhood, that's never sat in the foxhole, that never had to stand watch, that never had to, you know, to actually go out here and defend something that was actually valuable to them. You know what I mean? All three of us on here right now have all been in the military, has all risked our lives for this country. It's a lot of people that has not. Now, certain things that you learned while you was in the military, this is one of the things that Bone was talking about earlier. This is certain things that you learn. You learn brotherhood. You learn value, valor. You learn respect. You know what I mean? This is stuff that soldiers use because this is what we were bred to do. People nowadays use this as a punchline. They don't know what this is really about. You can't scream brotherhood and you talking about your other brother. You know what I mean? You can't say, well, I'm being a good bro, and you sitting here DMing somebody's old lady. You can't say that you a bro when every time that this man turns his back, you walking behind him, ready to stab him in it. That is not brotherhood.
Right. Facts. Facts.
You know, so once the if you want to know how to stop it is, let me get this 5 minutes and get this over with. Since you want to keep talking, you want to keep going about this, if you really want that smoke, let me get this 5 minutes with you. And then after then, it is what it is after then. If your feelings is hurt, then your feelings is hurt. You know what I mean? But if you don't have that smoke and you really can't fight, and a lot of them know, you know what I mean? Like you said, you got some that's some straight up cowards. You got some that won't throw a brick in a blackout, and they know it. They softer than a baby's ass, and they know it. So if you know that this ain't you and you don't want that, now I know I will send you, like I used to tell people back in the day, I will beat somebody's baby the fuck up and send them home. You know what I mean? I will send you home to your old lady beat up if that's what you want. Or mind your business, keep my name out your mouth and move along. Find something else to talk about. Find something else to do. You know what I mean? But this is how you put an end to it. You know what I mean? One-on-one, mano a mano. It is what it is after this.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Yeah, that was all right. That was all right, man. So I think the knuckle up thing has a future. It had a strong past. Absolutely had a future. So I'm pretty gonna get out of here pretty close. We're here at an hour now, but what do you guys? I want to ask you this before we get out of here. What do you guys think of? Okay, so we've had a lot of happenings on the set in the last over the spring. People getting shot off motorcycles left and right. What do you think bodes for the biker set? Where do you think we are right now? And are we any place different than we've ever been, or is it just more media coverage? I mean, is it normal, or is it getting worse?
Well, it sounds like you said, well, where are we now? Based on your description, the where are we now sounds like Florida, because that's what that's what happens in Florida, man. But I tease about that, but I think what's happened is it's actually twofold. One, there's more media coverage because media has become much more intelligent. I don't mean smart, I mean intelligent, as in the media understands how to the news is target marketed now. There's news that you'll see on the channel, but then there's also news that's sent directly to an individual via their app, Facebook, Instagram, Google, or whatever it is. They that intelligent design, that AI understands what subject matters might be interesting to a specific individual, and it's going to feed you a steady diet of that sort of content. And so for those of us that are interested in what's going on the set, we're going to get all of that. We're going to get every bit of it. So it's not that these things, I'm not suggesting that these things don't happen. I'm suggesting that these things are not even glorified, but they're magnified more so. And the efforts going in the opposite direction have zero attention. Meaning, so when we talk about, like, for example, our COC here, we had some major issues that we overcame and corrected and bounced back from very nicely. That's not what the media is ever going to be interested in. But they were hoping and praying that some crazy drama stuff happened because, if it bleeds, it leads. That's the deal. If somebody's bleeding, that's the first thing you're going to hear about on the news. That's an actual media expression. If it bleeds, it leads. So my point about that is this. Yes, those things do happen, and there are issues in certain areas. Like we know Texas has some issues going on right now. Australia has some issues from different opposition, which would be the government. But so yeah, stuff is happening. It doesn't mean that folks aren't working to correct those things. I think that that's one of the big miscommunications that happens on a regular basis. Folks are trying to fix that stuff. But if we was talking about the Boy Scouts, who have the same damn problems, Boy Scouts have the same problems as an MC, as does the Vatican Church, as does the school board, as does Parliament, as does not Parliament Funkadelic, but Parliament, the other guys. But there's a lot of entities that have those same exact problems, but it's not as sexy to talk about U.S. Congress. There's more felons in the Florida. There's more criminals, misdemeanors, and felons that work in the Capitol building of the state of Florida than there are in most entities, most businesses. See, in other businesses, they say, if I hire this individual and they steal something from me, I can fire them. But if you work for the government, for some senator or whatever, no problem. You can do whatever crime. We'll clean it up and make it feel like it never happened. Or if you're a Republican, we'll just say, hey, it never happened, and they co-sign it because they believe in anything.
So I want to play something for you, and I want to get your opinion on it. This is what's going on in some mainstream media right now. Check this out. All right. Here's where I want you guys to start listening. And we will definitely dissect this. Here we go.
Biker gangs. Okay? Biker gang. This is just a gang. They happen to ride motorcycles. They're just a damn gang. It's a bunch of lawless thugs who decide to operate in criminality. The modifier of the description does not faze me. You see, these individuals are violent to their core. They are typically 100% lawless. They care nothing about others who could get injured. And when it goes down, I'm talking about these criminal acts, these shootouts, innocent bystanders are killed. You rarely hear this be a national story or somebody from national leadership in politics, especially on the Republican side. You never hear them talk about how this element needs to be dealt with. Wow.
Okay. One, let me say this. We got a reverb thing going on. But Frankie said something. Where do you go? Frankie Mac, dude. I gotta tell you, I love Florida. Frankie Mac said Bones is not like Florida, it seems. I actually love Florida. a lot, which is why I spend so much time up in Tallahassee dealing with these Republican and Democrat senators and congressmen and all like that. Frankie, I'll say this real quick, like, man, hear me out. Democrats and Republicans are two wings of the same bird. I'm calling out the individuals that I'm having issues with right now, which happen to be Republicans, because those are the folks that are in power and they're the ones that are effing up. If the Democrats were doing it, I'd be calling them out too. So don't be so polarized or so tribalized to think that, oh, he said something against my party, so he must be bad. Or no, man, I'm an American first. It's about America. It's not about Democrats. It's not about Republicans. It's about America. Florida is just a state in America. You know what I'm saying? So believe me, bro, I love Florida, which is why I have to criticize when folks are messing up this state the same way I criticize when they're messing up our country. That's all.
Okay. Were you guys able to hear that, or was the reverb just too terrible?
Yeah, I heard it.
What did you think about that, Archbishop?
I think for him, if I see him in his face, I tell him bite my ass. You don't know what I do. You know what I mean? You making a all around comment based on a couple of different people. You know, most people that's in motorcycle clubs, for the most part, even 1%ers, are actually law-abiding citizens. If you do the actual, okay, let me give you an example, because we did a show on this. 72% of police officers, 825 annually, are charged in cases. 40% of those crimes were committed on duty. Now, you sitting here talking about these biker gangs, and these biker gangs are lawless, and they do this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? People always see the end result. They never see what happens prior to. You know what I mean? You never see what went on to make these people do what they do. You know, I mean, people never see that. You always see the end result. Now, when you was talking about the guys getting shot off on the bikes and stuff like that. Now, we live in a day and age of cowards. Let's just keep it what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The most time that most bikers are 100% vulnerable is during the time that they're riding their bike.
Yes.
Because they don't have, I mean, you wide open. And usually what happens is, you know, I mean, I've heard this happen, is that you have, okay, say you got, you know, bikers pull up at the gas station. They sitting there, they getting gas. They ain't paying no attention to you. They come in there to get them something to eat, fill up, and hit the road. They ain't trying to do nothing. You roll up beside them and get to shooting. What they gonna do? You know what I mean? He'll sit and duck. You know what I mean? Now, why would you do that? Because a lot of them, you know, some of these guys who actually do this don't even know the people that they actually shooting. Wasn't even around when, if you had, let's just say for instance that you was at war with another club or whatever, 9 times out of 10 that the people that's actually sitting out here doing this stuff wasn't even, number one, don't even know what really happened to even started it in the first place. Number 2, wasn't even in the club when it started.
Right.
You just running around like you doing some shit for affirmation from who? Another fucking dude. You know what I mean? Seriously? So you gonna run out here and take a life from somebody else because of what he got on his back, and for what? What did he do for you? You know what I mean? Right now, what we seeing right now in these clubs, because every time you talk about these clubs, the only thing you hear is the ops this, the ops this, we gotta do this because the ops, we gotta do this, that, and that because of the ops. 9 times out of 10, it's the fuckers in your own club that you gotta worry about, because the ops ain't even fucking with you right now. It's the people in your own set. It's the people that you see all the time. The ones who's supposed to be your brothers is the ones who stabbing you in the back quicker than anybody else. This stuff that's going on now, where you shooting people off of bikes, that's cowardness. especially been the fact that, you know, for what? You know what I mean? If you had an issue with that man, then why didn't you meet up with him when he was at the gas station when he was just standing there pumping the gas? Because so was you worried he would come beat the brakes off of you or something? But no, you catch a man when they least vulnerable, where you know what I mean, where you know that you can get it. You know what I mean? That's like on the civilian thing. You know, you had like back years ago and even up to now, where they had people like if they really wanted you, what do? They waited until they knew that you was in a particular place that they knew that they could catch you where you were completely vulnerable. They used to run up in these barbershops and shoot you down because they knew that that was a spot that you were going to be at, that you ain't paying attention to nothing. You're sitting there relaxing, you getting your hair cut, you getting shaved, and whatever, and they come in there and they knock you off. The same thing that they do on these bikes. It's a cowardly act. It's cowardly. You know what I mean? This ain't.
When I don't ride a.
Yep.
What was that? That wasn't me.
What'd you say, Black? Go ahead.
That wasn't me. Keep going.
Oh, so they, like I said, like it's a cowardly act. You know what I mean? This is not what we came in here. You know, when you came in, Black Dragon, when I came in, when Bone came in, this is not the stuff that was taught, that this is how this stuff is supposed to be done. You know what I mean? Granted, there's been bike wars. Yep, people have sat there and slugged it out and fought, and you know what I mean? People had pipes and sticks and chains and brass knuckles and everything you can commonly think of, and we duked it out. But this stuff where you trying to run bikes off the road, you shooting people while they on the bikes, that's cowardly, man. You know what I mean? There's no honor in that. There's no honor in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have to agree.
Facts. You know, I tease about Florida, but you know, we've experienced some of those things. We've seen and I'll be careful when I say this, we've seen the proper version of it and the improper version of it, because, and as it relates to there's a code, there's rules to what we call in the Marine Corps rules of engagement. And when things happen, honestly, my opinion is, hey, that's par for the course, as long as the injured parties, if you will, are a part of a certain community that signed up for that. You know, gangs go out and they kill indiscriminately. Some kid on the sidewalk, some woman in her living room sitting there watching TV or whatever because they're spraying down a whole, you know, that's all bad. Don't misunderstand me. But if this group of people has a problem with that group of people, they deal with that group of people. And even so much to the point to where there's rules, as in leave wives and kids and family members and all that, leave them out of that. Leave them out of it. They don't got nothing to do with that. That's always been a rule or understanding. When those things change, that's because that's what gangs do. And I'm not suggesting, I'm not condoning violence or any of that. I'm just saying that even in circumstances where there is violence on the set amongst MCs, there's rules about how there's rules of engagement. You know, there's, for lack of a better way to put it, you know, you don't get in this lifestyle if you don't have the discipline to follow what the rules are. And it sounds a little nuts, but it's actually a thing. You know, there's so yeah, motorcycle clubs are not gangs. So for this guy to say that, it shows more about his ignorance than it does about anything else. His ignorance is he has a high level of ignorance.
Well, listen, guys, we have covered a whole lot on the show tonight. I so appreciate having you. I want to show you one last thing here. This comes from, I hope I got it queued up. I wasn't planning on this, but Black Dragon wanted me to show you guys this. I think you guys might know Black Dragon on y'all show.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to show you guys this. He made this for me a long time ago. I don't know if it's going to play. I'm going to try. I didn't have it queued up beforehand, but he wanted you guys to see this. So let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. Can you hear it?
Yeah, that's Archbishop. Yep.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, that's Archbishop right there with the chucks.
Hi, my name's Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider. I'm from Charleston, West Virginia, and I watch Black Dragon Biker TV.
Yeah. Right on. Right on.
But where our video at, Black Dragon? Where I was at, man?
Man, wasn't that cool? I used to
Yeah,
play
it
that
was.
all the time, man. I used to play that all the time.
That's all right.
I'll start playing that again.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. That's fun.
Did you hear him hit ting 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 ting? I'm used to somebody getting hit once. That sucker ting ting. That's 2 times, bro.
I'm telling you, man. I
was
dig
like-
that.
I was
When I grow up, I'm gonna get me some of them nunchucks.
Listen,
Well, I'm gonna be
man.
looking for my video, Black Dragon. We can put it on ours too. I want, since you made that one, I'm gonna need one too. No, I'm talking about Black Dragon from
You
Charleston.
mean the
West
other Black
Virginia.
Dragon?
Yeah.
Hey,
Exactly.
I got one. I made one too. Now, don't. I got me a.
You know what? I seen
there.
that one too. I seen that.
But I
Did you have nunchucks?
Huh?
Did you have nunchucks?
Yeah, I seen it.
I wonder where mine is. But I didn't have no ching ching. I didn't have the 2 chings, boy. What he double hit that thing like crazy, man. I had a nunchuck video somewhere. I don't see it now.
I got some shit. I might have to dust them off. And
what we need to do right now, right before we get out of here, is talk about your Archbishop, your contest, and let's talk about that for a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a contest that I've been in for the past month now. It's dealing with OCC, Orange County Choppers. They was doing this this dream bike giveaway thing or whatever. I initially did it, wasn't even, you know what I mean? I initially did it to do it as a tribute bike for my brother. My brother who passed away several years ago, and he was the reason for me actually coming out here doing this MC thing for this past 23 years. So it's basically gonna be a tribute bike for him. He passed away of an aneurysm several years ago. But yeah, so as of tonight at 9 o'clock, we made it through. So we're in the quarterfinals. Like I said, you go in quarterfinals, semifinals, and then the final round. So we done got pretty far. You know what I mean? Thanks to all the boneheads on our podcast and the people that we've been pushing it out to on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else we can push it to. The votes been coming in. So I was talking to Black Dragon about the opportunity to come over here to let everybody know. Like I said, this is all for a good cause. A lot of it's a free vote. The vote is absolutely free. There's actually 3 different ways you can vote. The first way is a free vote. The second way, if you put your credit card information, they're not taking nothing out your card or nothing, but just to make sure that you're not a bot, because they had like people go in, under that AI shit and mess up stuff. So that just to verify that you're a bot, then you get 2 votes every 24 hours. Or you can do the single vote and get a single vote every 24 hours. They also have what they call a warrior vote. And that they have certain days that they do that, like a 2-for-1 vote or a regular vote, whatever, but that money goes to the Wounded Warrior Foundation for disabled veterans. So it's a good cause that it's going to, but we trying to push it to win this bike. It's more of a sentimental thing than anything, but it's also an opportunity, for us to actually stand for something, for us to actually pull something off like this. And I think, being the fact that we went so far, like I said, I never thought we was going to make it as far as we did, but we have. So what I'm asking everyone over on Black Dragon side is to jump on there, give me and give me your vote. Like I said, the vote is absolutely free.
Go where? Where do we have to go?
Huh?
Where do we have to go to do this?
If you on if you're on Facebook, I made it public on my page. So if you punch up Archbishop on Facebook, it'll show you the link as soon as you scroll down. There's plenty of them. Right now, you cannot vote tonight. It'll start again, I'm thinking tomorrow for the quarterfinals, because they just closed it out tonight. So then the new one will start tomorrow. So it'll last for a week. And then if you in first place at the end of that, then you move to the next one and you move to the final one. So we're trying to get there. It's for a good cause. Like I said, you can do that, or Black Dragon, I sent you the actual link that you can just tap the link and it'll send you straight there as well.
So where is this on your page?
Yeah, if you scroll up.
Oh, there you go. You just passed it.
Scroll up. You can pass all.
There it is,
You got
right
that
there.
one there. If you
Okay,
scroll up to
right
the
here.
very beginning, you got it there as well. See, like right now, that wild card phase is over with. So tomorrow, when the actual votes pick back up again, then once you click that link there, it'll take you right to it. You'll see the picture, and you can scroll down from there and actually cast your vote. And it'll tell you the different ways that you can cast it.
Okay, so this is Archbishop's page over here, so you know what it looks like. This is one where you can go. When I do my show in the morning, I will have that link up. I'll also have that link in the description box on this show. But anyway, what it is if he wins, they're gonna build him a dream chopper, and they're gonna put up to, what did you say, $100,000 into this?
Up to 125,000.
$125,000 chopper. I want to get in on the. I want to run. Sure. But if you do this, they're going to give our man here a dream chopper. They'll put up to $135,000 in this chopper.
125, which is still great.
And so you're like number one right now, aren't you?
Well, I was number one in this that they did tonight, and then that moves me over to the quarterfinals.
So we got a long way to go to get our brother into this thing, but
yes. So you have to stay in the number one seat in order to advance to the next round. So that's why, now that we done got further on up, every single vote counts. You know what I mean? Like I said, when it started out, there was 7 different groups with 75 people in each group, and it went from 75 to top 20, top 15, top 10, top 5, and then the top 1 from each of those 7 now is in this quarterfinal. So it went through a lot of people. You know what I mean? So we done been a long way so far, but it's almost there.
So we want you guys to definitely go here. I'm going to put the link in the description of this video here, and put the link up on my page. The link will be up on my Facebook page, Black Dragon Biker TV on my Facebook page. It'll be in the community section, Black Dragon Biker TV on TikTok, Instagram, every place. I'm gonna stick this every place that I am.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna get that for you, man. But I want to ride it though. Don't be like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I want to ride that sucker. You get that.
I'll make a special trip.
Ride.
So, you in Atlanta, right?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll make a special trip to Atlanta for you to ride it.
Come up to the Dragon's Lair. I'd love to have you, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for being on the show, man. I love you, brothers, and I just really appreciate y'all. It's a definite honor and a pleasure to watch you guys develop and grow in this thing. And if you guys don't know, let me put this on the ticker. The Big Boneyard is on YouTube. It's Sunday nights. What time y'all come on?
It's actually supposed to be 7, but we actually changed the time over.
Sunday nights in the evening.
It depends, because a lot of times we actually be out on the road, what I mean? Like we actually be out there doing biker shit. So sometimes we may just be now cruising in at 7 o'clock. So we'll move it over. But But it's every Sunday.
Every Sunday evening.
It's supposed to be at 7.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be at 7. 7-ish sometime. The Big Bone Yard with Archbishop, 1%er, Big Bone, 1%er. If you need to get a hold of Big Bone, you can get him at Big Bone at OFFO. Wait. This is your Instagram. I'm sorry.
There's that, and then it's Bone OFFO on.
I got
a lot of. Oh, okay.
I got you.
Okay.
It's bone.outcast@gmail.com, and his Instagram is at BigBoneOFFO.
Yes, sir.
And then of course on YouTube is the Big Bone Yard.
Yep.
With Big Bone and Archbishop on Sundays, man. So hey, man, I love y'all. I want to thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with us, man, and helping me make the show tonight. Thank y'all.
Appreciate you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, brother.
Oh man, that was outstanding. That was exciting, man, to have those guys on the show. And I hope that was the right video you wanted me to show them, Black Dragon. So we had a great time, man. We will be back in the morning, y'all. Ride great, have fun. Find out a way to treat each other like individual pieces of solid gold, man. You know, we're in the brotherhood because we love our brothers and sisters. Right? So if we're in the brotherhood because we love our brothers and sisters, why do we treat them bad? It's just horrible. I'd like to thank my producers tonight, K. Wayne and Goose, my club brother. Thank you guys for being in the green room and keeping me honest and doing. These guys do the research, and this is, you can't do this without a team. So these guys are behind. They're in the green room. They're sending me messages. They're doing all kinds of stuff for me, and they're with me night and day. So I just want to thank them for helping the show be great, man. So those are my producers back there in the green room doing their thing and sending me messages and stuff across the screen and everything. So got a lot going on you guys don't get to see, but really doing great here and having a great time. For all of the fans, I just want to thank you for being fans of the show and for watching the show and for participating. Give me some likes and subscribes if you don't mind, follows and things like that. You can find Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We also do a live on Twitch that nobody watches, but it is up there. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. That like, subscribe, which is supposed to be subscribe and share. That just comes into one word called subscribe. And order my books, The Prospects Bible, Sergeant at Arms Bible, President's Bible, and the Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs, Public Relations Officers Bible, all from Kindle and also on Amazon. And you can order them directly from me, Black Dragon, at blacksabbathmc.com, or that's my email address. You can order them from blackdragonsgear.com. I'm all twisted for some reason tonight. Join our daily podcast, which can be seen wherever or heard wherever you download your podcast. We're syndicated every place, like iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to check out the Dragon's Lair, LAIR, Motorcycle Chaos. Please join us on our Discord server. The link in the Discord server for the Discord server is in the description box below. And you can get a hold of me at blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. The number here in the studio is 404-692-0336, 404-692-0336. What's up, Todd J? What's up, man? Love you, man. And everyone that's out there, I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. We're getting skinny, y'all. We're getting skinny. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospects Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
And we'll see you in a minute when we break out the first bug out bag we're going to be looking at is.
Well, let's do yours first.
Yeah, how about you first?